All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Is Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. Um, I'm gonna apologize ahead of time for the video quality. It is what it is. Like I said, once we get situated, and I get Spiritual Combat Studios back up and going, it's gonna look a lot better. But got a very good show for you today. Be hitting on some heavy points. And the title of the show is Hebrew Culture versus the World Culture. Um, and we're really gonna be coming down the middle, getting um, granular with this thing, really getting down on to the nitty gritty on uh, just the state of the way things are today, the condition of things today. Um, so we're going to dive right in. I'm going to make sure my audio is good because I definitely got some stuff I want to hit on. Um, we're going to get it, man. And hopefully this will open brothers and sisters' eyes. Some people out there that are really looking for the way, are sincerely seeking the Most High. This will. Let me see if I could do something with the way this lighting is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because that's pretty terrible. This lighting, the way it is. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna really be hitting on some stuff today, and we're gonna really get into it on a big level. I want to start this out just bringing something to everybody's realization. You might already realize it. With the day and time we're living in today, um, temptation has never been at this level before. Okay. Uh, this is in the history of man, temptation has never been on this level. And let that sink in for a sec. Let me fix this. My video quality got to be better than this. I have a standard, and this is below that standard. So y'all stand by 1 second. Let me position this. There we go. Let me set up my background a little bit. Y'all give me a sec. All right. Now, that is better. Now you can see me. But in the history of mankind, since the days of Adam, temptation has never been at a level that it is at now. Okay. And where it is getting ready to go. Okay. If you watched the episode I did about social media and the media and the internet and everything like that, it you can see the current area of attack is for your attention. And that is where the battle is at. These social media platforms, I know a lot of people are just putting those things down because they're so brutally efficient at grabbing your attention, weakening your attention span. You couple that with the level, the level that lust is at with sexual content online, on the media and everything like that. It's like never before. It's just right there in your face everywhere you go. Then you look at society. and it's going down the drain, you know. Um, but it's just instant gratification society, instant gratification for the flesh, and that is the culture. That is the world culture out there. And one of the things I put here is the media is on the attack on many fronts, and it is weakening people. Okay. Um, so one of the things, I was thinking today of how, you know, I was, we were at our work site, and I saw uh, older black man. He was sitting over on a bench, and uh, and I was on the phone. I was talking to somebody, and yeah, I looked at this dude. His hair was grayer than mine. My hair is pretty gray. His hair was all gray. The back of mine is not gray though. It looks weird. I can't wait till it grays out. But anyway, this dude was sitting there on that bench, and I was in a conversation with somebody, and they were just telling me about how somebody they knew was eventually going to hand this business over he was going to hand his business over to his son or whatever, and how he's grooming his son for it and everything like that. And I was like, okay. And I got to thinking, and my mind is, always on the things of Yah. I was like, you know what? It's funny, man. It's like this whole Hebrew Israelite thing. Y'all have seen my journey through this thing, and I knew for a good part of it till I came to Straight Way. I knew what I was out there doing. Really, it was like there's more to it. There's more to it than just doing videos and seeing how trying to impress people with your Bible breakdowns. I knew there was more to it. And it was in my spirit that there was more to it. And anybody who's real, who's serious about this thing, knows that there's more to being Israel than doing a bunch of damn videos and just trying to impress people with how vast your knowledge is in the scripture or about our history and culture. Because at the end of the day, what I watch out there in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, and I'm gonna talk about that later on because I'm sure a bunch of y'all seen that assembly I used to be a part of. Once again, more evidence. I said time will tell. When I put that video out about how feminized Rebirth was, I said, but don't worry about it. Time will tell. And just time works its perfect work. You know what I'm saying? But out there, and I'm gonna speak on that a little later on, but out there in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, it's just at best, it's just a bunch of history classes and philosophy, vain babbling philosophy, people trying to string scriptures together all these weird ways and get a following and some viewership. But at the end of the day, ain't nobody hitting on a damn thing. Okay. And I'm saying that to tie that in with when I looked over at this older gentleman sitting over there on the bench, I could just tell. I was like, man, because I was being told about this one person. He's of another race, how he's handing over something tangible to the next generation that they can see, feel, live, experience, and most of all, use. They can utilize it. And I was like, man, I was like, that dude right there probably, I was like, the generation coming up, the reason why they're gravitating to all this debauchery and these stupid music videos and the people who lead our culture are these wicked ass artists that another nation entices to come off the street and influence our generation and keep them down. But the reason why these young people gravitate to that is because what else is there? They see their parents, they see that all their parents are doing is just living these boring lives, destroyed, messed up, no unity, nothing to hand to them, nothing for them to get involved in. And the only thing they're being told that they need to do is go to school, go to college, do this. We're not giving them anything, nothing. So again, it's the Hebrew culture versus the world culture. The world culture, it's a culture of destruction. It's a culture bent on you being destroyed. That's the world culture. The world culture is gonna. This is what the world culture is gonna do to you: bleed you dry and then hang you out. You know, they're gonna wring the life out of you and use you for as much as they can extract out of you, and then hang you out to dry. Okay, and that's what they're gonna do. But it's enticing. Looks good, feels good, sounds good to the flesh. But at the end of the day, you have nothing to show for it. It's like a dead end street. But what's the alternative for the next generation coming up culture wise? They look at the so-called Hebrew Israelite movement, and it's a damn clown show. The so-called Hebrew Israelite movement. The real Israelite movement that is going on at Straightway is the real deal. And you can see it. And the children can see it, feel it, use it, see the advantage of it, see the difference in their walk versus the world. See the difference in their walk versus the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, which you might well just call them Christians. We can see the fruit and the benefit going forth with it. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying that because, again, once again, as a lot of y'all know, when I was coming up in the so-called Hebrew Israelite movement, moving around, trying to find my way through, at one point I was a part of Rebirth, but I saw a strong feminist agenda. I saw a very strong, even stronger homosexual agenda. And I wouldn't even move to say a homosexual agenda. I wouldn't put it like that, but a feminine man agenda, an agenda to effeminate, if that's a word, and to weaken men and to have men in the role the role of women and have women in the role of men and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the typical Christian agenda where the women are running the place and they cater to the women and men are subjugated and emasculated and spiritually castrated. So I saw that, spoke out about it to the point where there was a video, and a lot of y'all remember this. There was a video where there was a dude who, now I'm not gonna say he was homosexual. I wouldn't call him out like that and say that. I'm sure he is working on coming out of all that, but clearly effeminate. And the title of the video or the tag on the video was "Rot in Your Mouth." And this dude is clearly effeminate in his mannerisms and talk and all that. And I spoke straight out about it. and about all that, and about how we need to get in line with the book. And that's what we're going to be getting in on right there is the book. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that whole rebirth situation, but I spoke out about it, straight spoke out, called it out, say you can't have that type of representation, putting forth that type of fruit in front of people, because that's speaking louder than anything he's saying. And of course, I put that out there, and what they do, a bunch of them, the leader, one of the leaders there, and a bunch of other, I guess, leaders and mores there got on stage and prayed death against me through subliminals, because they never go direct. But and a lot of y'all remember that, because Pastor, he called me on the phone. He's like, Michael Israel, what's up? I answered the phone. Hey, what's going on? He's like, you still alive? Yep. He's like, okay. I guess there's a bunch of false prophets over there. Boom. A lot of y'all remember that. And after they did it, I was like, look, that's cool. I'm just being 1,000. I don't give a damn about viewers. I don't give a damn about people, places, things. I care about Yah first. I'm not saying I don't care about people, places, and things, but I have Yah comes first. Yah is the priority. Being obedient to his will comes first. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I call, man, but it's not just them. It's not just Rebirth. It's most, and to what I've seen thus far, almost all of the so-called Hebrew Israelite groups out there are highly feminized, unknowingly. And it's like, you gotta, it's so big what Pastor did that you got to really, because even as I was coming in the straight way, and even now, you come into how big of a deal what Pastor did was. Pastor, not in this day where it's more obvious that we're in the end time, but way back in the day when everything was copacetic and cruising right along, Pastor obeyed the Bible. Pastor embarked on embracing the Hebrew culture. Okay, talking about Pastor Dow. And what do I mean when I say embracing the Hebrew culture? He looked at what the word said and he did it in the opposition of this culture. Because, and what I'm trying to get at is what is done in this beast system culture is completely, totally opposite what the word says to do. And it'll mess with your mind, because you're like, hey, we do this, but the word says this. Our women operate like this, but the word says this. The Most High said we stubborn and prideful like this, but we're operating and moving like that. And it's just like you start going down the line, and as you begin looking at basic book, this is basic surface level book that a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, 7-year-old can read and see. Basic surface level 1 book is telling you something simple that you cannot get confused. It's sitting, is right there in your face, and we're not doing it. All these so-called Hebrews out here that are so knowledgeable and so deep in the book, they ain't doing the basics. And that's basically why they a mess. You know what I'm saying? Because they not doing the basics. And let me tell you, doing the it takes a lot of humility to do the basics. It's easy to understand, but it's hard to do. Why? Because we are so used to this culture, to the point where, so what happened, what I found out happened today, one of the brothers, John from Raymond Word, sent me some videos this morning. You know, they one of those people who prayed against me on stage there at Rebirth, they kicked them out of the assembly. I guess they said, and it's he said whatever, he said, she said type stuff, but they kicked him out because they said he was gambling with the assembly's money, and which, you know, whatever. And then, you know, the other thing that's a trip that I got to get in on this, because it goes right along the lines of what I was saying. The other reason they kicked him out is because they said he was, I guess, pushing multiple wives, or was approaching sisters in his assembly about being a second wife to his, which is book. But when you have that feminist agenda, when you have the agenda of the world, you're gonna be cool with homosexuality and effeminized, castrated men, and that which is the real enemy. But you're gonna come down hard. You're gonna come down with fury on a man trying to cover another woman, which is clearly book. Now, somebody please come in here and type in here which one is an abomination to Yah. What is abominable to Yah? Look, yo, this is a rebuke. Look, it's a mind job coming out of this culture we've been raised in. But let's keep it 1,000. The man is the head. The women are to be obedient. And the Bible does nothing but, from the very beginning, the first story about man is warning you about women, that they're the weaker vessel, that they need to be covered, protected, watched out for, that Satan can easily influence them. What has been the agenda from day one? What has been the agenda of Satan from day one? To flip the thing upside down. To have the woman over the man, and the man under the woman from day one. This is where the vigilance needs to be at. This is where we really need to stand firm. Why am I harping on that so much? Look, if you can't get by this one point, if women can't get in order, shut their mouths and get in order and get in line and get obedient to that man, then ain't nothing gonna happen. Now, I watched a video. One of the leader's wife said, yeah, because she basically said, yeah, because that stuff ain't happening here, talking about multiple wives. I ain't having it. And it's like, wow. Ever learning and never coming into the knowledge. Just can't subjugate that Jezebel spirit. But I've seen that. Now, we're gonna go all the way into this, like, multiple wives does not work unless you have the cultural environment set up for it. It's not going to work. The way the Most High has been leading pastor, and the structure that you see set up in Straightway, just from top to bottom, is just airtight. It's of the Most High. You will know them by their fruit. It works. You see what I'm saying? Hold on one sec. Okay, yeah, it works. Okay, it works. Let me unplug this. But people like Israel is stubborn. They're stiff-necked, stiff-hearted. You go in, what is that? Ezekiel, I think it's chapter 1 and chapter 10. They spent a whole chapter going in, telling him how stubborn and frustrating it is dealing with us and how hard-headed we are when the book is basic and simple. But you watch people twist scripture because of pride and stubbornness. Twist it. What? To their own detriment, to the detriment of the generations. Like we're repeating the sins of our forefathers, clearly. So you can't, if you're living according to the Greco-Roman beast system, multiple wives don't make sense. Hell, family don't make sense if you're living according to the mammonistic society. But if you get in line with the word and you get out of your feelings and you do what the book says, and that's what I did. Like when I was coming in the straight way, I was like, you know what? I was like, because the whatever in me was like, nah, man, it's better here. You know, Ron was offering me deals and different people were coming to me like, hey, you should do this, man. Hey, you need to focus on your show, man. You could be big. You could blow this, that. Hey, man, you need to do movies and all this stuff, worldly type stuff. And my emotions and feelings like, yeah, man. Like, I ain't gonna be able to do that over here in straight way, you know. It's like this, that, and the other. But then I had to remove my feelings out of it. This is the problem with Israel. They too soft and sensitive and weak and emotional. They're spiritually castrated men in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. Okay. And what would be the word? Disconnected, remove myself from my feelings and emotions. And I said, what's right? What's not? What does the book say? And that's it. And what is Pastor saying and what is Straightway doing over here? And I looked at what the book said. I looked at what Pastor's saying. I looked at what the book said. I looked at what Straightway was doing. And I was like, you know what? I can't I can't argue against it. It's book. And I was like, I went in that direction according to what the book says. I decreased so y'all could increase. I sold my brand new house that me and Sister Koya had got custom built with a dream driveway that backed up to the woods, sold it, and moved in to a bedroom. My whole family lived in one bedroom in a house with 3 other families. Was it 3? 2 other families and a couple other brothers crammed in there for a year. Then we moved to a slightly bigger house, continued doing it. Got all my debt paid off, everything, debt free. Came together tight with some Hebrew Israelite brothers that are closer than family, than blood family. The Most High blessed us with a business. I was able to resign from my federal job with benefits. Resign from it. And we have been working together as a nation doing this business going on a couple of years now. And to say it's moving forward is an understatement. We can't keep up. That's one of the reasons I don't be on here making a whole bunch of videos, is just trying to keep up with the growth of the business. That is a blessing to Israel that eventually, and as y'all know, we've all moved. All the sisters and brothers and all of us, Straightway Florida, has moved to Tennessee, about an hour away from Pastor Dow and the Straightway Hub. and we are still in the process of getting the business established up there. And like I said, the business, it employs myself and three other brothers, four other brothers actually, five. Some of these brothers, one of the brothers, he would because of the way he was raised, he didn't have all the understanding how to work in this society. So now he's with Hebrew brothers that have his best interests in mind. None of our women work. Actually, one of our sisters works from home, but none of our women go out to a job and work. And in time, the sisters will be the administrative department for the business, or at least some of them, or however. But it's coming to that point where, look, it's going to be employing, anybody who's able that is worthy. You know what I'm saying? But our women don't work. What do? They homeschool the children. What do? They cook healthy meals for the brothers who are out there working, and the rest of the, people in the household. They raise their children. Why? Because why would you want to send your children to a place where there's shootings, where witches are educating your kids, where they're going directly against stuff that you're teaching them? They're telling, no, you're not a boy. You're whatever you want to be today. And all that. It's madness. This is basic book. This is basic Bible. And it amazes me how all these people, they're following, they're caught up in the Greco-Roman Catholic way of church. And that's why these people, they think serving Yah is listening to these messages that these clowns are out here teaching in these so-called Hebrew Israelite assemblies. And these people who call themselves mores, and they're teachers, but what are they teaching? And even more importantly, what are they showing you? Because it's one thing to teach, but are they showing you anything? I could say, yeah, I come on here, I teach stuff. But if you go back and you watch my videos, I'm showing you what I'm doing. And let's get to why. Let's get to the why. Let's get to the why everybody is taking the easy route. The easy route is just watching YouTube videos, typing stuff in the comments, and hallelujah, and going to the Shabbat meetings and Shabbat Shalom and all Buker too, and all this Hebrew fake surface level cultural stuff, but you ain't coming together doing a damn thing. And why is that? Fear, spirit of selfishness, spirit of stubbornness, all those spirits on you. That's why. It's not a game, man. And let's get to the biggest one. Men, you've been spiritually castrated. Your balls been cut off. And y'all know, I done did videos on it. I got balls that clank. It's not a game. If it's right, let's do it. And let's do it because it's tough. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that, I'm saying all that for a reason. The reason why I'm saying that is because, look, I just went through talking about how me and Sister Koya, how we've transitioned over a 3-year period, selling our houses, selling our cars, decreasing so y'all could increase, literally, spiritually, you name it, getting in line with the word. It wasn't easy. It was not easy. It is a fight all the way. Fight with myself, a spiritual fight, economic fight. Sometimes me and Koya, we've had arguments. It's not cinematic, But you see Koya right there. She's right there in the comments. Rocking with me 1,000, growing in the truth. Becoming a quiet, shamefaced, meek, humble Proverbs 31 woman, pressing towards the mark. Just like I'm pressing towards the mark of a righteous husband, a righteous man. Pressing towards it. But it's press, it's war, it's what? Spiritual combat. Y'all need to, I'm not putting this video out to take a jab at Rebirth or nothing like that, or to take a jab at any of them people. I'm trying to wake people up and reach the people who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Wake up. These people, these so-called Hebrew Israelites out there are doing the same thing they were doing 3 years ago. I get a chance maybe every other month to look in and see what's going on out there in that dumpster fire called the Hebrew Israelite community. That's why I call it so-called, because they're not. It's Christianity, y'all, because they're not doing nothing. If you're a part of one of these assemblies or whatever, and your life is still the exact same. You still go to work your 9 to 5. Your wife's still working. Your children are still in the public fool system, getting more foolish. You still doing the same stupid stuff. You see what I'm saying? If you are deceived. And listen, Satan is a deceiver. Even moving the way I'm moving, Satan's always trying to deceive. Always. Even with what I'm doing. Satan is always at work trying to deceive. That's why you got to use the KISS method. Keep it simple, shithead. Keep it simple. How? Just do the surface level book. That's why a lot of so-called Hebrew Israelites don't, they ain't really rocking with Straightway, because it ain't complex and what do you call it? Intellectually dazzling and stimulating and all that bullshit. Like some of these dudes come in like they a college dean professor, master professor, and like breaking down, and this is the way you articulate Hebrew in the Hebrew vernacular, and you write it out. See, and if you can't do this and blah, and you ain't doing shit. You just you ain't even the clown. You the clown shoe. You the shoe on the clown. Y'all got to just bottom line this and wake up. Now check this out, okay? Somebody broke something down about how, and it's so true, how when I came into this, man, I was studying. I came in studying because as you find out that you've been deceived and misled, you start digging and studying. And trying to figure out how deep this thing goes. And I was digging, studying, going in. And then at one point, it hit me. It was like, you know what? Because people started bringing out stuff. And I was like, well, I got to study that. And they bring out something. Damn, I got to study that. Bring out something about the language. Damn, I got to study that. Bring out something about Spain. I got to study that. They'll bring out something about DNA. Damn, I got to look into that. They bring out something about spirit. I got to study into that. They bring out something about the Koreans and how we over. And now they come about something about America and what was going on here before we came. Damn, I got to study that. And I was like, damn. I was like, you know what? I was like, I paused. I was like, y'all got us to where we don't know nothing because we were stubborn. Maybe I just need to study how to obey him. And that's when things started changing. That's when I began to see the curses begin to fall off in my life, where the curses were, you know what I'm saying? That's when I began to see, my house begin to grow spiritually and really develop and become righteous, humble, and set apart. When I realized, hey, we don't need to go do ever learning deeper lessons, because that's what they do. They're doing these lessons over and over. Like, how many different ways can you break some of this stuff down till it occurs to you to maybe do it? So I was like, you know what? Because I was getting ready to go deep into something else, and I was like, something ain't right. I was like, I need to do this thing. I was like, because look, I'm in debt to this beast system. I gotta go here I gotta drop my children off to my enemies at the public school system, where their culture is they basically, whatever you want to call it, indoctrinating my children to this beast culture. And then I gotta send my wife off to work, and then I gotta go off to work. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I started praying against it. And then the next thing you know, the Great Awakening Hebrew Gathering, appropriately named, happened. And that's when I met Pastor. And the rest, it's the whole thing been documented and videoed and recorded for your eyes, for you to witness. And when the Most High, when we get on land and we get situated, I'm gonna put a documentary out about my whole journey, my whole 3 year, now it's about a 3 year journey. I'm gonna put a documentary out about it for y'all to see. To bear witness, to show you, hey, you might not feel like go watching all the videos. We're gonna do this documentary, and you'll see. It's real talk. But a lot of y'all, man, y'all need to stop. Like a lot of these so-called Hebrew Israelite mores, teachers, morons. Now they got a new name, Morea. I guess that's a female more. They said Morea. I was like, wow. But a lot of these people, y'all don't, unbeknownst to y'all, are wizards. And they're doing witchcraft on you to keep you confounded to them. Why? Because for them, it's a numbers game. It's a views game. How many views can I get? How much money can I get off these people? And that's what it is. And how much money can I get off these people by just running my mouth and doing videos and talking a good game and getting you emotional, get you jumping around a little bit. And at the end of the day, there's no fruit. But they deceive you into thinking that fruit is jumping around, dancing, and watching videos. That's fruit. According, and y'all tell me if this is real talk, according to the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, what the fruit is your biblical knowledge and how much you know. Ever learning, but never coming into the true knowledge to actually do the thing. It's not complicated. It's basic book. All right, so check this out. You can't compromise the biblical standard. You cannot compromise the biblical standard. And again, I'm saying it again, I ain't seen it nowhere else. Everywhere else, they compromise, y'all. You got people, man, because of pride, the biblical standard has been compromised. Like they twisting laws. look, I gotta say it, man, because when y'all coming against stuff, we gotta just call that junk out. On this video that Rebirther came out with, they got up there and had the nerve to say, they said it in the same on the same video. Look, we know it's in the book that you have multiple wives, but over then later on in the video, they coming again. They said if you get caught up in that, they basically said multiple wives is like a trap or something like that. I forget the word they use, but it was crazy. So it's like you have no zeal to really walk this word out because your God is women. What has Satan been trying to do? Now, we already know out in society that women are God and how this whole thing is set up, but it is very much in the Hebrew Israelite community that you better serve that woman and you bet like, and y'all, if you can stomach it, watch the video. The one dude's wife grabbed the mic and is like, because he know not to bring that up in here. And it's like, yo, I'm discerning a lot off that. Like, I'm extrapolating so much off. I was like, okay, I know who run that thing. And it's so subtle when your emotions are so locked in and to that capacity, when your emotions are so locked in to I'm a woman and this is how it got to be, and when the Bible is totally opposite what you are over there talking about, we got to check that. Like, that's clear weakness. Like, women got to get in line. Look, that's step one, level one. The women have to get in a biblical role. Be quiet, shamefaced Proverbs 31 women. That's level one. That's level one. It's level one of women getting in line. Get the women getting out of the way. The women are not going to get out of the way until the men stand up. Because, again, the men have to lead. The women ain't going to get out of the way unless somebody leads them out of the way into their proper biblical role. And if that don't happen, you ain't got nothing. You can't do nothing. One of the reasons why we're able to do and move the way we're moving, and why Straightway is moving the way they're moving, and we're moving the way we're moving with Straightway. But the main reason is, number one, the men are in their biblical roles. And it's like listening to these people, man, they literally, they sound like the world. They sound like I'm listening to some women talk on BET or something like that. Oh yeah, the men, blah, blah, blah. Nah, you need to be the way you serve Yah is by being obedient to your husband. But man, it just, and like I said, I don't be looking at this stuff all the time. So it's been, since I've seen anything from Rebirth, it's been probably 2 years or something where I looked at anything over there. But man, when I look at it, it's like, whoo, it hits you like, damn. It's like, and they studying the book? And they speaking against basic stuff in the book? But then condoning a feminine man? What does the word say? Nor the effeminate will make it into the kingdom of Yah. And come on, man. This is basic book. Like, your house can't stand if you're a feminized, castrated man. Like, it's gonna fall apart. It's not how the Most High ordained it. So yeah, man, it's just, boy, I don't know. And at this day and age, man, we see the storm clouds for the end time in the distance now. We can hear the thunder of the end times creeping in, but now you can look out there and you're beginning to see the clouds for the end times forming. And even the heathen know. Even the, like, let me tell you about this, how strong this thing is. There's this guy I watched. He not in the truth, but he speaks on a lot of topics, and his stance is more in line with the word than most of probably all the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. And he grew big on social media. And what happened earlier this month is first Facebook deleted his whole account and his Instagram without a reason. Then the next day, YouTube deleted him. And then Twitter and the other ones blocked him. And then Uber deleted his account. And then the banks even locked his accounts up. He was like going through all the stuff of how they just came down. And why? He's Andrew Tate. Yep. You've seen it. Look, because he speaks about, look, men have to stand up, lead. The stuff ain't nothing crazy. He just encourages men to be men. And he's never said nothing about abusing women or anything, but it just hits a tone on feminists, on this feminist agenda, on this whole agenda, this sexual agenda, where they're saying you could be this, you could be that, on the mental health agenda, on everything. Y'all, they just wiped this dude out. Now, he's a very strategic person. So what he did is majority of his content is shared by everybody else. And he does a lot of interviews. So they really can't cancel him out. They call it cancel culture. But it's coming, y'all. It is coming. Like it's a small group of men willing to get on here that are speaking the truth, coming down the middle, telling men, stand up. You lead that house. You don't let no woman take your power. Don't give your power to women. Lead. If you love them, lead them. And a lot of times when you start leading these women, they go berserk in their minds because they can't process it. But then you know what? As you stand firm in your masculinity, they fall in line. And I'm talking about biblical masculine leadership. And what am I talking about? When I talk about biblical masculinity, look, this is the telltale sign of these soft ass. I'm gonna say a term. A lot of y'all will be laughing, but I'm not trying to be too derogatory on my show. But look, this is a telltale sign of these soft ass dudes. They don't come down the middle. They don't talk straight. Everything's a side shot and stuff you gotta read into, and like it's like it's not plain and simple and straightforward. The book's straightforward. It said, nor the effeminate will make it like it says, woman, be obedient to your husband as unto the Lord. And all is straight down the middle. There ain't no wiggle room on it. But the telltale sign of a spiritually castrated, emasculated, effeminized man is all that side talk and throwing subliminals and all that crap like that. Telltale sign, y'all. If y'all following people like that, look, the telltale sign of real men, like when a soft, effeminized man or a man who's been spiritually castrated gets around real men, at first it kind of hurts. Why you coming? Why'd you say that to me like that? I'm like, say what? I'm like, I told you to stop, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you gotta talk and say it like that. How you want me to say it, while I have some Rainbow Bright music playing in the back and, playing what them things called? A halo? What them things called? Cello? Harp. While I'm playing a harp, hey, can I please? And all this subtle, subliminal talk. That's you dealing with soft, weak, effeminized dudes when it's like that. Like real men just come straight down the middle, and they're not veering left or right. And there's no guessing about where they stand and what's going on with. That's why I rocks with the brothers, like with Brother Gideon, Pastor Dow, Elder Rufus, Elder Mitchell. Like I'm comfortable around folks like that just they're not trying to be soft. Like ain't no guessing of where you stand with them or what's going on with them or what they saying. They're like, boom. You know what I mean? Real man stuff. That's what we need in this day and age. We're at war. This is not the year of the vagina man. You know what I'm saying? This is the year of the soldier. You know what I'm saying? It's too. We ain't got time to be coddling people and talking easy when you see what's going on in the world. Did y'all see them VMAs? Please, if you didn't see them, don't. If you didn't see the VMA awards, the Video Music Awards, don't. It's like, whoa. The media giants, they got some type of group where they blocked this dude in one night, basically in one day, just wiped him out. But yet, the VMAs, where they're pushing free sex and all these crazy agendas and people getting awarded best video for lap dancing on the devil. And it's like, yo, y'all not saying nothing about this. This is society I'm talking about. But yet you're cancel culturing people like this who just telling men to be men. And it's like, yo, what the heck is going on? This is the time for men to stand up and get their house in order. If you sitting there, look, y'all, if you still sending your children to school, by the time they get to 6th, 7th grade, it says raise up a child in the way they should go, and when they are older, they will not depart. So if you're raising them up in this public fool system and they telling them all this crazy stuff, don't be shocked when they come home and they say, hey, this is my new whatever friend that I'm marrying, and you will never have grandchildren. or whatever. Or they might die in early death because of the lifestyle they choose. Why? Because you raised them up in the way they should go, and they didn't depart. You didn't raise them up in a Hebraic culture. You raised them up in the world culture. Why? Because you got mores and morons. You got mores who are morons, and they're not telling you what to do. They're just teaching you a bunch of history shit. They're teaching you about the belt that y'all's been whipping our nation with for years. Oh, did you know over here during this that they killed us and then they erased this? Oh, and check this out. Over here in the great so-and-so, they threw us over here and cut this off us. Hey, check this out. They abused us. Dude, why are you meditating on the belt you getting whipped with? Why don't you figure out why you getting a whooping and stop doing it? Come on, y'all. Y'all can't make this up. Y'all put a 100 up in here if y'all understand where I'm coming from, y'all. It's just, man, Most High put this thing on my spirit. Telling you, man, it's sad what's going on out there. And listen, y'all, and I still get phone calls of people who, when they're going through something, man, people throw my name, Okoya's name. This is people outside of Straightway. People throw my name, Okoya's name out there to people who are in crisis and calamity, and I still get calls. Yeah, what should I do? Still, to this day, because they seen me around and they see the footwork. And they know at the end of the day, they know we ain't playing around. I ain't playing around. I ain't here for the views. I ain't here for anybody's personalities. I ain't here for no money. I'm here for y'all, and I'm here for y'all's people. And these people are a joke out here. And it's damn, they're worse than Christianity. Because at least the Christians don't know, or they didn't shut their ears off to know. These people know why we in the situation we in as a nation. Ain't doing nothing about only one. And you know, they were saying it up at the Great Awakening Hebrew Gathering, but I'm saying it here. Pastor Dow and the leadership at Straightway and the serious-minded saints at Straightway are the only ones doing this thing. I ain't seen no one else. And what's the secret? I'm gonna tell y'all the secret sauce at Straightway. It ain't building communities. It ain't elaborate teaching that's deeper than anything you ever seen. It's Pastor Dow being diligent about doing what the book says. That's it. And the most he drew other people who are serious about that to him. And that's the secret sauce. He's diligent about doing what the book says. He don't care what a woman says. He don't care what people say. He ain't worrying about places or things. If it ain't book, he ain't doing it. And that's why you see the momentous growth you've been seeing in Straightway. And if you ain't seen it, we're gonna show it. I have a show coming on here soon, and we're gonna get it. Y'all remember I did that community series where, you know, I had brothers and sisters each week who have communities come on and just break down what's going on. We're gonna do it again. And you're going to see that number is like doubled or tripled, you know, of the amount of communities now. And when I say communities, I'm talking about people buying land with nothing on it. And let's take Elder Mitchell, for instance. He bought land. There wasn't a damn thing on that land. Nothing. Just some trees. It was trees and dirt. Okay. And he got on that land. And how many years ago was that? Man, that was about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And you look at it now, it looked like a little mini city on that land. And guess what? He didn't go hire no contractors or no nothing. He used these and the hands of the saints. And that's why when everybody is like-minded, in alignment with the word, that's what happens. You walk in the blessings. When they're not like-minded and in alignment with the word, and they trying to speak off their feelings and stuff like that, you got drama, you got shit that keep popping up, you got sexual perversion going, you got all manner of wickedness creeps in. Why? Because Satan's a deceiver, and he's gonna get up in it. And that's the example I have in front of me. And that's what I'm trying, because I ain't perfect, but I'm getting perfected, but I am trying to press forward towards that mark. And I'm putting the work in. If I die trying, I'm going to put that work in. I'm going to sacrifice when the Most High, and he's done this a lot with me, when the Most High brings something in front of me that I need to deal with, I suck it up, take a deep breath, and deal with that shit. Eat that shit, you know. And it ain't cinematic. It ain't for the faint of heart. It ain't for castrated, effeminized, sugar tank men. You know what I'm saying? Koya put something up here. Where she put? She said, "I'm so thankful for the conference in Detroit and meeting Pastor Dow and Elder Rufus." Yeah, yeah. And me and Koya, look, us coming in here, we knew it was right, but it was tight. You know, it was a tough move. You know, we had our highs and lows. But at the end of the day, in our hearts, in our spirits, we knew that we're gonna do y'all's will. We're gonna get our stuff together. We still trying. We still working on ourselves. We ain't the perfect holy couple walking around here. Shoot. But we definitely pressing towards that. And we ain't out here selling you wolf tickets. You know what I'm saying? We ain't like some of these people, man. Some of these people been taking money from you for years. And you ain't got nothing to show for it but more debt. We came in a straight way. We was full of debt. And today, we ain't got no debt. We came in a straight way. We ain't had no time. She was working. I was working. The kids were doing schoolwork. They come home from school. We trying to figure out their homework because that Common Core bull crap. Me and her had to figure out how to teach them the work. I was like, you know what? If I do this, I ain't going to be able to get up for work tomorrow. Y'all just going to have to figure it out till Most High help me figure something out. Now, fast forward today, my daughters know how to sew. They know they know how to crochet. They know how to mix herbs. They're brilliant cooks, but mind you, healthy, brilliant cooks. They know more about health and anatomy than most doctors. And they praise the Most High Yah. They've received the Holy Spirit. They be out there praising and worshiping. It's like a blessing. Almost, bring me to tears if I wasn't so hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes something might get in my eye and a tear might roll down, but it's a blessing to see your family go in the way of Yah. But the only way that happens, it don't happen by listening to Moray Moron do ever more deep sermons and lessons. And okay, in the beginning, Yah. Now, in the Hebrew, the conjunctive adverse of that actually means, and do all these deep lessons. That's not how you're going to lead your family in righteousness. You have to create a righteous, set apart environment for your family to grow in, and then they will walk in righteousness. It ain't done by talking, it's by the work. That's a whole nother show there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I see a lot of people that come on here. I guess because of all the drama going on out in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, y'all come on here. I'm gonna be coming down the middle in the coming days, time permitting. When Yah gets me where I need to get, I'm a flip the switch on this thing, y'all, and then I'm gonna lay some heat down, some Hebrew heat. What am I talking about? Just really hitting on some truth, okay, and really getting after this thing. And these so-called Hebrew Israelite assemblies, I guess that's why the numbers are up. It's because of drama going on, but whatever. Hey, look, y'all don't gotta worry. Look, I ain't got views like y'all, and I'm not gonna have views like y'all. Y'all, the masses are always gonna gravitate to the asses. So y'all don't gotta worry about trying to, keep your assembly together by trying to, because you ain't gonna chop up what I'm saying. I'm coming straight from the survival scrolls on this thing, straight book of what I'm saying. So you ain't got to worry about, trying to defend and keep your assembly together so you keep that money coming in. You ain't got to worry about that because the masses are going to gravitate to the asses. So you're going to have the bulk of them. I'm just trying to wake up those few that have ears to hear and eyes to see, And like I said, and I'm not going to be speaking on that whole situation anymore for the most part, unless there's some crazy stuff that happened. But somebody got to come down the middle in this day and age, because what's going on out here in the world, like the signs, is real, man. And we gotta, be ready to go, And like I said, let me tell y'all something else, man. Not getting all caught up in I don't get too caught up in end time prophecy. That's another one that will grabs me in, and I like studying, but I don't get too caught up in it because look, a lot of people get all caught up in this end time prophecy. If you pass away today, that is your end time. That's it. It's a wrap. So get it right now. Stop playing around. Stop letting these morons lead you, and walk. Figure out what works are. That might be what one of my upcoming videos is going to be about. Somebody said, hi, Michael. I know this may be a foolish question. To ask, but my cousin asked me a question the other day. He said, if we're born in sin, why are we expected to change? Hey, look, I'm gonna get granular. I'm gonna go basic. Sin is what you get when. What is sin? It's transgression of the Lord, of the law, of the word. So basically, you're in sin when you're not doing what the book says. Okay, and the rewards of sin are death. Okay, so if you're born in sin and you continue walking in that, eventually you're going to have a painful life and die. Okay? If you get in alignment with Yah's word, you're going to receive the blessings of being in alignment with Yah's word. So let's break it down even simpler of what you asked. Let's make it even simpler. Here's the example. If I'll give you a good biblical example. There's some lessons I've done when there's been a lot of police shootings. There's a bunch of scriptures in the Bible that specifically tell you how to deal with officials and people who have power over you. It tells you exactly how to deal with them. And when you look at the people who have been killed by law enforcement, almost every single time, I really can't remember a case when it wasn't the case, but almost every single time they're going against what Yah said in his word. So and it's funny because even when you look at the heathen, even when you look at these other nations, say you look at people from, I don't know, Iraq or something, or people from Spain, Spanish people, or Chinese people. And you look at them and you see why they're successful and we're messing up. It's simply these people are doing more what the book says than we are. You see what I'm saying? So your cousin or whoever that is looking at the Bible from a religious Greco-Roman standpoint. I look at the Bible from a very practical standpoint. What's the practicality of me leading my house and my wife being quiet, shamefaced, and obedient? I see it. I've experienced. we see how that mechanism functions in the machine runs better when we're in our proper biblical roles. How else do we see it? When we look at other nations. When we see other nations, Chinese people, you don't see their wives out there being big mouth, loud mouth monsters like you do around like black women and stuff like that, talking about he gonna do this. You don't see that in the Arab community. Big mouth monsters with weaves in their hair and their hair falling out and fake butt, fake breasts, fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake nails, fake everything. They in there painting them up, the Chinese, and they're making plenty of money. You don't see that when these other nations, they'll stack up in a house and have go off nothing and build and get a business and grind it out and work together. You can't get two of us to work together half the time. That's book. All this stuff is biblical. It's very basic and simple. What messes our people up is religiosity. That's what you got going on over there at Rebirth over there. A bunch of religiosity. And it ain't just them, it's all these so-called Hebrew Israelite assemblies for the most part. Okay? There are a couple that I know, to the best of their knowledge, they getting after the best they can, but nowhere even remotely close to Straightway, where it's just clear how we function here is, look, we're going to do what the book say, and we're going to get in alignment with that. But at the end of the day, y'all, our people don't want to be obedient. Like it's in the book. Like our people don't want to serve Yah. Most of our people don't want to serve Yah. That's what the issue is. And look, if you think, go read the book. It's all through there. They just want to go after the nation, do all this other stuff. So that's bottom line. People just don't want to keep these laws. It's just not in them to do it. But I'm talking to the people who have a desire to keep them. Okay? Exactly. There you go. That was a good one, Kim Folk Mo. He said, sin equals carnality. We were born in carnality. It says we were born in sin, shaped in iniquity. But what he put there is, so we must be born again of the Holy Spirit. Okay? And being born again of the Holy Spirit, people are like, and run around, jump around, all that. And that's cool to have that zeal. That no problem. But that ain't how you know whether you've been born again. You will know them by their fruit. That footwork gonna show it. Because look, when I was in Christianity, I used to see all that. All the, emotionalism and everything like that. So that's just real talk, man. So Sister Koya put, sin has judgment and death. I'm so thankful for repentance, deliverance, and the blood of Jesus. There you go. That's real talk. That's where that spiritual aspect comes in of, like I said, a lot of people are spiritually castrated, but that's where this boldness, this warfare, where you go into war with yourself spiritually, getting delivered from these spirits and these demons that are causing a lot of them behavior. Some of these people, man, I'm telling you, you can see the spirits on them. Like you literally see the spirit, like, and they got thousands of followers. So, like I said, a lot of people ain't gonna make it. That's just what it is. And like I said, I'm not on here throwing shade or trying to, be busting on Rebirth, nothing like that. I'm trying to reach them people who got ears to hear and eyes to see. And it's only gonna be a couple of them, a little bit, a remnant. It ain't gonna be a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people really don't want to get holy. They don't really want to get set apart. Okay. Anywho, man, 70 viewers, boy. You know there's some drama going on in Israel, all y'all over here. Anyway, y'all, appreciate all y'all tuning in. Definitely go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe while you're over here, since everybody showed up. Like, share, get this out there. We're gonna keep it 100. I'm calling it the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gotta keep it 100. Everybody is tiptoeing through the tulips. And this is the time to be crying aloud and sparing not, and lifting up your voice like a trumpet and call this bull crap out the way it for what it is. We gotta get serious, man. You know. Anyway, y'all, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. And shalom, shalom.